church bells ring. Christmas is coming, Mary's baby boy, bringing us a message of comfort and joy. Glory, hallelujah, what a wonderful thing. Christmas is coming, let the church bells ring.
Good evening, and welcome to the broadcast of the 2020 Starkville Christmas Parade. I'm Melanie Hankins Booth, and I'll be your host for an evening of Christmas Parade from... Wait, what? Well, yeah, I know it's 2020, and things are not as per usual. But we're not outside on the steps of the First United Methodist Church waiting for the annual Starkville Christmas Parade to roll down Main Street. We're inside in a studio instead, hosting a special production at WOBV. Well, in that case, why don't we celebrate the beginning of the holiday season as we always do, bringing good news and season's greetings to a community that comes together in good times and in pandemics. The 2020 Starkville Christmas Parade will not be rolling down Main Street this year, but right here in the studio of WOBV, we will bring you home for the holidays. And that is the theme for tonight's program and the theme for the 2020 Starkville Christmas Parade that is celebrated, but out of an abundance of caution, not actually held. Tonight, along with the Greater Starkville Development Partnership, we are hosting a program of parade memories as well as current events, highlighting parade entries and moments from the past, along with interviews and special features, spotlighting what is happening in our community this year in response to COVID-19. One of the things that makes our annual parade unique is the way that the city of Starkville comes together with Mississippi State University and Oktibbeha County each year with 80 or 90 entries and hundreds of children and participants that highlight schools, businesses, churches, as well as civic and MSU student groups. And though we're all disappointed that things aren't as they usually are, right now we invite you to sit back and enjoy this program, bringing together our community, but in the warmth and the safety of our homes. Now don't worry, children, Santa Claus will be here. He brags every year that Starkville is his first stop at the Starkville Christmas Parade, and he gives us a preview of the hottest and latest toys, along with some good advice for the boys and girls, how they still have time to get off the naughty list and on the nice list. Some of the bands that typically participate in the parade, including the Famous Maroon Band from Mississippi State, along with Starkville High and Starkville Academy, may not be marching, but they will be performing for us. Tonight, we'll hear from members of the community talking about what it means to be home for the holidays this year and how this year has impacted their lives. You don't want to miss what they share as their favorite Christmas parade memories. Many other people watching this program have years of memories of the Starkville Christmas Parade. Records indicate that our parade has been running down Main Street for almost 50 years, and I've spoken with some folks that say it's been even longer than that. 2020 marks only the third time that the parade has been canceled. Since the beginning of the television ministry at the First United Methodist Church in 1976, a broadcast honoring the parade has been presented to the community. For 43 years, Starkville Parade participants have been able to see themselves on television. And for a community of our size, that's amazing. And we thank FUMC and WOBV for that gift, especially this year, in light of the restrictions that's been placed on our ability to gather to worship and to celebrate. Tonight, we will speak with the new associate pastor, Reverend Charlie Harper, and remember the tradition of Mr. John Robert Arnold and his flatbed trailer filled with Christmas carolers, spreading good cheer every parade. And speaking of traditions, one can look at a list of Grand Marshals of the parade and see community leaders, educators, public officials, university presidents, football coaches, veterans, clergy, and first responders. But this year's, let's face it, folks, it's been a difficult year, and our lives have been changed due to the coronavirus. Our hearts hurt from the suffering that has been caused and rejoice over the overcoming of the illness. One common thread, we could not have made it without the brave, selfless care of our frontline medical workers here in Starkville and at MSU. Our doctors and nurses and support people in healthcare have gone above and beyond to serve our community. So this year, they are being honored as the Grand Marshals of the 2020 Starkville Christmas Parade.
Christmas means to me is all about giving, because the very first thing of giving was what God gave us, and that was His Son, Jesus Christ.
This year has taken a toll on everyone around the world. While some people wondered what to do, others leapt into action. frontline workers stepped up and shouldered the responsibility of caring for those who have COVID-19.
It's been different due to the coronavirus, but in spite of all, we always put our best foot forward here. And it's all about the giving and the caring of our patients. And that's what we strive for.
That desire to care and to give has helped countless people. As Christmas approaches and people begin to look forward to spending time with family and friends, frontline workers know there is still work to be done.
It will be different due to the COVID virus because we're not able to gather like we normally do. Like families comes home and get together with their family members and they celebrate with their kids. And that's going to be very different and that's going to be very hard because you want to see your family, but we know we can't due to our situations.
Our frontline workers are leaning on their family of co-workers to make this Christmas season a little bit easier and feel a little more like home. This Christmas, remember to be thankful for our frontline workers and everyone who has worked to help us get through 2020.
And so Christmas is all about giving. Every day should be a giving, but Christmas especially because you get into the joyous occasion because we know we're celebrating the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
So remember, when you head out to see those distant family members or meet up with your friends, be sure to wear your mask and wash your hands. But also remember, be sure to say a prayer of thanks for the frontline workers who are working behind closed doors to stop the spread of COVID-19. Some of them have to miss out on their children opening presents on Christmas Day. Some of them will miss out on the big family Christmas dinner. Instead, they will be caring for those who need it and doing their best to bring an end to COVID-19. From all of us at First United Methodist Church, WOBV, and the partnership, thank you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for the sacrifices you've made. Thank you for putting your lives on the line to help others. Welcome, Jim Jackson, the administrator and CEO of Oktibbeha County Hospital. Thank you so much for being with us on this special program where we are bringing good news to the Starkville community. And part of that good news is that the Starkville Christmas Parade Committee has chosen the frontline workers, all healthcare frontline workers in our community as our Grand Marshals. So as their representative and as the representative from the hospital, welcome.
Well, thank you for having us, and we appreciate the fact that you guys recognize our frontline workers.
Now, this is a positive program. We are bringing good news to the community, and so I want to ask you, things have been different, obviously, in the last year, but what are some of the positives that have come from the situation that we've been in battling COVID-19?
Well, you know, in the beginning of the pandemic, we spent a lot of time and resources kind of ramping up and preparing for the onslaught of patients that we thought we would begin to see. And so we put a lot of effort into those preparations. We didn't see the numbers of positive patients in the beginning, but certainly we began to see those to ramp up. And you know, when the virus sort of worked its way through the population that required hospitalization, we did see sort of a maxing out of those volumes and the census in June and July, when we had roughly a daily census of 15 positive patients. And since then, we've been able to meet the demand as we've seen the positive patients decline. Now we're starting to see sort of another uptick, but we feel very comfortable that we're prepared to meet the demand.
What has changed in the day-to-day operations of a hospital pre-COVID, during COVID?
Well, the biggest thing that's changed is just having the resources available to meet the needs of the COVID positive patient population. And certainly it's taken a toll on the hospital as far as staffing. The pandemic has certainly created competition among hospitals to retain our staff, and so we've worked through many of those issues and feel like we've done a really good job of doing that. Our frontline workers and nurses have really come through when they were needed most, and so that's what we're most happy about. Well, I think all of the accolades and appreciation that we can show is well deserved of the staff, of the frontline workers, and I don't think that we can ever stop showing them the appreciation that they deserve for what they've been able to do. The virus is here; it's going to be here for a while. They're going to continue to have to be relied upon to service the need of the community, and so they have shown no pause in their ability to or willingness to serve the need, and so we have to continue to show our appreciation for them.
So it's healthcare workers in general, at the doctor's offices, at the clinics, at Mississippi State University, everywhere, that we are so appreciative of. What can we do as a community, or even what can we do as individuals to help them?
Well, I think there's been a lot done that these workers realize is showing appreciation for their hard work. You know, whether you've had people in the community making masks for them, and just the various opportunities that people all around the community have already shown their appreciation. And so this is another example of that, and it goes a long way in keeping their morale up, keeping their energy up, and these people love what they do, or they wouldn't do it, right? So this is what they're built for, and so even though they've been challenged and it is stressful, this is what they love to do. This is their life's work.
Well, lastly, if you could tell your people at Oktibbeha County Hospital, or if you could tell our community as a whole anything this Christmas, what would you tell them? Well,
the biggest thing I could do is just a big thank you. Thank you to the staff for their diligence and their willingness to remain loyal to the hospital, to treat these patients in a challenging environment, and for the community. Thank the community too for entrusting their care to OCH. We think that we do a great job, and we just hope that we continue every day to earn the trust of the community that we can provide the health care that they deserve and expect.
Well, we thank you. We honor your frontline workers, all the frontline workers in our community, at OCH, at the clinics, at Mississippi State University, everywhere. We thank you for what you do and for that selfless service and for all that extra time that you've put in and all that extra care that you've put in. And we will continue to pray for you and wish the best for you. And thank you for being with us on our program.
Thank you very much.
We all have many memories of the parade, and like we mentioned earlier in the show, we know it's been happening for about 50 years, but some people say it's been even longer than that. This is my 28th year on the parade broadcast, and just in the last 15 years, there have been some really remarkable scenes at the Christmas parade. Do you remember when these happened?
Oh, wow.
I think we have something interesting happening
We
out
have
in the middle of
something
the road
special
here.
here. Let's see, what does that banner say on the back side?
What does the banner say?
Let's see. Oh, my word. Shannon, will you marry me?
Oh my gracious.
One of our members,
We are having a proposal right here in the middle of the Christmas parade.
one of our members from the National Guard 2nd Battalion, 114th Field Artillery Unit has just proposed.
Oh, Melanie, now we have the Arabian horses. And all storybook Christmases involve a beautiful horse, real or imagined. The spectacular Arabian mounted native costumes and all of these champion horses have appeared in many nationally recognized parades.
And I'm Jason Franklin. We're glad that you've joined us tonight.
And I am Patsy Douglas.
And I'm John Maynard, and I'm glad you joined us.
Hi, I'm John Ford.
Lieutenant Governor, two-term Lieutenant Governor Amy Tuck.
Mr. Scott Maynard.
Senior pastor at First United Methodist Church, Jim Genesee. The Grand Marshal of the Starkville Christmas Parade, our Mayor Lynn Spruill, has joined us here on the set. Host Anthony Craven this evening. Anthony, welcome.
Melanie, thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm excited to be here.
Those are some of our memories from the recent years. What's your favorite Christmas parade moment? Tell us below in the comments or on your favorite social media using the hashtag #MyParadeMemory. We can't wait to hear yours. Welcome to our Mayor, Lynn Spruill. Thank you for being here with us on this program where we've been bringing good news and starting the holiday season off right here. Even though the Starkville Christmas Parade isn't running as per usual, we have this Home for the Holidays program for everyone in Starkville, and so thank you for being a part of it, like you're always such a part of the Starkville Christmas Parade.
Well, I appreciate that. It is my pleasure to be here. I wish that we were having the parade, but since we're not, this makes a great substitute.
Absolutely. And now, as leader of our community, you, among everyone, knows how it has changed our everyday life, how it has changed things. But this is a positive program. We're focusing on the positive, and I'd like for you to tell us, in your opinion, what is one of the most positive things that has come from the coronavirus and the situation we've been in over the last year?
Actually, that's a pretty easy question and an easy answer, and that is to watch the community come together. You know, there have been several organizations that have formed pretty much around this, and they have been huge supporters of the community as a whole. From even outside this building right here, you've got the food pantry that has been constantly being refilled. I think 2 and 3 times a day. The Starkville Strong Group has been a huge member of the community in a way that who would have expected the need.
It's changed our day-to-day life, obviously, but it's also changed our holiday season.
It has.
Tell me about some of the things that we're doing differently as a community during the holiday season than we've done before.
Well, I think we're staying home and staying home in much smaller groups.
Well, this, changes have to be made. We have to do things differently, just as we were all disappointed that we were not able to gather and to host the parade like we normally do, but that was just out of an abundance of caution. It was just the smart thing to do. But other things in our community, open houses and the lighting of the Christmas tree and the other things that have been such a important part of holiday traditions for the city. What are we doing differently for the city?
We are just recommending that people come by. Well, for example, I tweeted the other night, I drove by in my neighborhood, there's 2 houses that have just lit the cul-de-sac up. And so I think you've got people staying home and doing more lighting of their personal space, but it allows the rest of us to drive around and enjoy those lights in ways that we might not have done that quite so much before because we relied on downtown events and things going on like that. So we're taking advantage of some of the individualized efforts that people are making.
Yeah, and a great point there. You said when we were kids, when you were a kid, we looked at the lights. We actually had
cars back then,
yes, we did.
Indoor plumbing and everything.
That's right, we did, that's right. But you grew up here in Starkville.
I did.
And so I can imagine that you've got great memories of the Starkville Christmas Parade. Share your favorite memory.
I actually used to ride the horse in the Christmas parade. We would have horses because that was one of the things that we did. We had not rodeos like you think of a rodeo, but we would have horse shows around the community, and so we had a whole group of people who were horse contingent lovers, and we would do Western pleasure and that sort of thing, barrel racing, but we would all ride in the Christmas parade as well. So that's one of the things that I remember very fondly.
And you have more recent memories.
I chose a Segway instead of a horse now, although I'd like to bring the horses back. I'm just telling you.
Well, we were always smart and put them at the end of the parade.
There you go, see? But you still got to clean up.
Other than Santa Claus coming in on the rotary float, everybody was okay with it. But we're in the Christmas spirit here. We're talking about Christmas, and so let's get personal and ask Mayor Spruill a couple of Christmas questions. What is your favorite part of Christmas?
Food. I can't help it. I get these catalogs. About the time Christmas comes in, you start getting catalog stacks every day like that. So I'll take them and I'll go through them, and just some pretty fine looking food. So I just look at that, and then I don't have to eat it.
So let's wrap it up. All the changes this year, good things, bad things, we've focused on a lot of good ones, but for our community, if you could leave a message, if you could say one thing to our community this Christmas, what would it be?
Be thankful. We do have so much to be thankful for. You got me tearing up. But that's it. But be thankful, because we really do. You know, we're going to get through this. This too shall pass. Hopefully sooner than later. I'm hoping March at the latest. You know. But you know, while we're here, just be thankful for what we have, because we do have so much.
I'm so appreciative of two things that you've said that are lessons for all of us at this Christmas season. You've said be present, be in the moment. Wherever you are, be there. We owe that to ourselves, and we owe that to the people that we love and the people that we're with, right?
Absolutely.
And that sort of goes hand in hand with being grateful, with having gratitude, with being thankful, like you said.
Yep.
And you know, it's unfortunate that sometimes it takes something major in our lives, whether personally or collectively, like this has, and this has actually done both, to make us slow down enough to realize that we need to be grateful, we need to be thankful, and we need to be present and in the moment. And wow, of all the wise things that our mayor could tell us
Oh,
today,
now you're going to make me just sound smart.
of all the wise things that you could tell us about our community and about being community, that was wonderful, those two.
Yeah, well, it's just so real. I mean, we've all got difficulties, and we've all got good things.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We appreciate your participation here. We appreciate what you do for our community, and we thank you very, very much.
Well, you're very sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate being included.
Coming up here, we'll hear from the Famous Maroon Band and both Starkville Academy and Starkville High School bands. Go pop some more popcorn. Home for the holidays. We'll be right back.
So what do you give somebody you love at Christmas? Do you search for the perfect card? Maybe you look high and low for that special toy or game. Or perhaps you offer a beautiful piece of jewelry. Well, God had that same challenge. What do you give someone you love at Christmas? God wanted to demonstrate to His creation how much the world meant to Him. And so we read, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son." When you want to show someone you love them, only the best will do. This season we celebrate God's great gift to us in Jesus Christ, and it is in His name that we offer ourselves in worship and praise throughout this season. And so we come to you to wish you a Merry Christmas, say God bless you, and to celebrate the one who is the gift Himself, Jesus.
Welcome, Reverend Charlie Harper, Associate Pastor here at First United Methodist Church.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us on our special Starkville Christmas Parade program, Home for the Holidays.
It's great to be here.
So you are no stranger to our community. Tell us about your connection to Starkville.
Well, I went to school here, like lots of folks. So I graduated, it seems like a lot longer ago than you realize, but 1993.
And many of us see you on WOBV quite often
Right.
In ministry here from the First United Methodist Church, especially at the contemporary service.
Right. Well, I started my tenure at First Methodist in July. So I moved here in the middle of all of this. And so, usually as a pastor, you want to get to know people and build a relationship. And I'm still learning masks, not faces. Plus, you can't do the traditional go by and see folks or drop in on them at work a lot of times, or people are working from home and that kind of thing. So ministry is very different. We're spending much more time on camera and streaming and social and broadcasting ourselves instead of seeing folks in person. And so it means every time we decide, hey, we're going to do this ministry strategy or try to help this group, we have to run it through this filter of how do we do that in this context. And so for me, moving to a new town, meeting new people, but not really be able to meet new people has been, a challenge for sure.
Well, as a lifetime supporter of the television ministry here at Starkville First United Methodist Church, I have to say how blessed we are.
Dude, I told our senior pastor, it's like, this church was blessed to have that ministry already in place when everybody suddenly had to go to broadcast. What's really been interesting is even as we've returned to in-person ministry, we're offering both now, so people have the option to do that. But it is wonderful for us to have that ability to do that. Most churches don't have that stuff ready to go.
Well, the purpose of our program tonight is to bring Christmas cheer into folks' living room.
Sure.
Since we can't congregate, I'm sorry you're going to miss the Starkville Christmas Parade here on your first year.
My first one, and I can't even do it.
So let's switch and let's talk about Christmas just a little bit. Okay. Do you have a favorite Christmas memory?
Let's see, favorite memory. Well, a recent one is holding I've got a 6-year-old little boy named Matthew. And my most recent have been specifically Christmas Eve services, holding him while we're singing Christmas carols, but that wasn't this year, obviously. But in the past, that's been the thing, is Christmas Eve service and watch him try to play with a candle during church. But going further back than that, it's always, it's family at home, really. It's mom cooking meal and spending time with family in Jackson, which is where I'm from.
And you said your son Matthew is 6. Tell us about his expectations for Christmas. Do you have a big list?
I get almost daily requests to add to the list, and so I have started compiling the list, He sees anything, it's like, he doesn't have to see things. He'll be, can I get this for Christmas? So he just has visions in his head of what he wants. And sometimes they don't make sense, but sometimes they do, and they're all expensive, for sure.
Well, things have changed since the day of the JCPenney catalog when we just dog-eared the pages and handed them to our parents.
That's right.
So you're a minister. You have a lot of extra time during Advent.
Yeah, sure. I mean, no, we only work on Sunday, right?
Especially during Christmas.
Once or twice a year.
The meaning of Christmas. For some, the holidays mean seeing family. And that can be good or bad. For others, the holidays are about being generous to those they don't even know. 26 million Americans volunteered an average of 3 hours of their time last December. But what does Christmas mean to our local partnership members?
Well, Christmas to me, to our family, is when we celebrate the birth of Jesus. So as busy as things get, I do try to make a conscious effort to slow down.
I would have to say, I've been doing this for almost 35 years now, so being in the jewelry business, it's the busiest time of the year for us to, provide gifts for this, the special someone, in your life and everything, which is great.
I think Christmas is, it's just a time of great reflection, of being thankful, and I think that's changed so much even as we've had our own kids, and now we have 3, and getting to explain to them what Christmas is and what it isn't, and just celebrating that God sent his son and that he was born and that he was a real child, a baby that was born in a manger, and just trying to paint that picture of what that is.
So to me, that is Christmas. It's not the gifts. It's not singing carols on Christmas Eve. It is waking up on Christmas morning and having family around.
To me, Christmas is about spending time with family and loved ones. It's about showing gratitude and being appreciative for everything that we have and for giving gifts to show our love to our loved ones.
Join the conversation. Comment down below what Christmas means to you, or hop on your favorite social media using the hashtag #MyChristmasMeaning. We have with us today Harriet Laird. And Harriet, welcome. She is the Associate Director in the MSU Office of Public Affairs, and has been in the MSU and Starkville community since 2008. And she is here to represent MSU for us on this program. So thanks, Harriet. We appreciate your being here. The first thing, obviously, 2020 has not been a normal year. And things have been very different in all aspects of our lives, but especially in education. So could you just give us a little overview or tell us about some of the positive things that have come out of this last COVID-19 quarantine and isolation period?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that we started the semester on a really good note because our enrollment increased to almost 23,000 students. And with colleges and universities seeing declines in enrollment across the United States, that was really exciting for us. And I think in distance education we saw a lot of increase with students taking classes online, but also in our graduate school where we're offering a lot of online and face-to-face courses. And we're also currently waiving the GRE test. But I would say that that enrollment increase would not have been possible without the camaraderie and collaboration between the faculty and the staff and the administration this semester. They came together, it was unbelievable, and did what needed to be done to make the semester successful for our students.
Wow. Well, there at the Office of OPA, you really have your finger on the pulse of what's going on in the university in all aspects. And so how wonderful that you can give us such a positive report. That's great.
Right.
So this is a Christmas program. We're bringing Christmas cheer into folks' living rooms. We're calling this program Home for the Holidays. Starkville is your home. MSU is your home. Are there any Christmas traditions that are looking a little different for you at MSU or in the community this year?
Well, I think as far as the university, I think the main thing is that during the holidays, we still want to welcome families to come on campus and do those traditional holiday activities with their family, like bring their children to run around and ride bicycles in the drill field.
As a member of our community since 2008, Starkville Christmas Parade has a lot of traditions. Can you tell me one of your favorite memories about the Starkville Christmas Parade?
The thing that immediately comes to mind for me is in 2017, my daughter Harper was named Miss Yellow Jacket for Starkville High School, and so she was invited, of course, then to ride in the parade.
And there's the Miss Yellow Jacket 2017, Harper Laird. She is a senior and is the daughter of Jim and Harriet Laird, a varsity cheerleader. She's the captain for the girls' soccer team, and she's also on the tennis team. She serves as the school's key club and as social media chair.
We spent a lot of time right before Christmas looking for the perfect outfit for her to wear, and also looking for that special car that was needed, that convertible that she could ride in. And one of the lawyers in town, Jim Mazingo, who I knew from our church, he offered for Harper to ride in his car, and so that was a huge help for us.
And you're our representative from Mississippi State University, and so let me thank you on behalf of everybody. We love the MSU Famous Maroon Band.
Oh, yes.
I mean, what a tradition that we have and how blessed we are in our community to have the band in our Starkville Christmas Parade.
Yes, and I think the band is larger this year, even though they, missed out on performing at football games this year. I think maybe it's the largest group of students they've had in the band. And of course, that's a tradition that we always look forward to, hearing those Christmas tunes come down the main street in Starkville.
And another one, as you mentioned with your daughter, all the special guests and the pageantry of riding on the convertibles. And thank you so much. We appreciate your being here on behalf of MSU. And Merry Christmas to you and your family and to our good friends there at Mississippi State University.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
A staple of the parade, and famous for riding a flatbed truck and leading carols, John Robert Arnold was honored as the Grand Marshal 3 times. His son Hunter has many memories of his dad and the Starkville Christmas Parade.
My dad loved music, and he loved people, and he loved Starkville, and he loved Christmas.
John Robert Arnold was a bit of a local celebrity. If you went to the parade, you probably heard him. His love for Christmas and music was loud and clear from a flatbed truck borrowed from his farm.
He had a PA system that he had used for calling square dances earlier in his life. I just kind of happened naturally. He wanted to do that. You couldn't stop him from doing it.
He was first celebrated in the Starkville Christmas Parade as Grand Marshal in 1977. John Robert made sure to spread the holiday music cheer.
He started by inviting a music fraternity.
I remember especially in the later years joining John Robert on the flatbed truck were the ladies of Delta 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 and Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. And they were just, they were always so happy. And of course we would tell them to smile for the camera when they came under the lights. And John Robert would sing extra strongly into his megaphone. And it was just such a treat. And then everybody at home could see through the television broadcast as well.
Then when my daughters were there, they were in a different sorority, so he invited that sorority as well. And so my daughters got to enjoy that with their granddad. That meant a lot to me and a lot to them and a lot to him.
He was honored by the city as Grand Marshal again in 2012.
They always loved my dad, and he loved them back. He wore a crown, and she wore a crown, I think, and so he got a big kick, really big kick out of that.
And I have to take the time to tell you that John Robert, we did hear him run the parade route backwards singing, and when he finishes as his Grand Marshal duties, he's going to get back on his flatbed truck and come with the ladies of Tri Delta and continue to get us fired up for the Starkville Christmas Parade.
It really taught me something about love for your community and love for the people of the community.
After John Robert passed in August of 2017, it was decided that the parade would honor him and his family one last time with the theme, A Caroling Christmas.
Joining us there is Miss Mary Ann. Also in that car are her children, Hunter and Carrie.
Two of her children, Hunter and Carrie.
The Starkville community invited my mom to participate and be recognized in the parade in 2017. So I had the honor and pleasure to ride in that parade with my mom. And so that will always have special meaning to us. And that was a very, very kind gesture. But I do distinctly remember, having that time and just, thinking about, how much fun that was. And I'll never forget that.
Hey everybody, I'm Miss Audrey and I work here at Starkville First United Methodist Church. I'm so glad y'all are watching the Christmas parade with us this year. Every year, one of my favorite things about the parade is watching Santa drive by at the end. I think we love watching Santa Claus come because he represents a generous spirit. Well, did you know that each of you have gifts you can share, just like Santa? That's right. Some of you may be talented artists and you can draw Christmas cards that you could share with your neighbors. Some of you may like to sing and you could sing a Christmas carol and record it on your phone to send to family and friends. Or maybe you're really good at helping hang out with your brothers and sisters, and that would be something you could really use to share with your family this year during this busy season. So no matter what your gift is, I hope you find a way to share it this season. And so let's remember to do that anytime we see a Santa. Maybe it's on a Christmas sweater, maybe he's walking around Starkville this season, but every time you see Santa, think about how you can share your gifts too. Merry Christmas!
You can do a lot of good by shopping in Starkville. Out of every dollar spent here, up to 40 cents stays here. That means a lot of good, like creating jobs, building better schools, and improving our quality of life. For every can of paint you buy, every dress you purchase, every meal you order, you're helping to make Starkville a better place. That helps your neighbor, that helps your friends, and that helps you. Help the home team win. Buy local. Shop Starkville.
One of the highlights every year is hearing the marching bands from around Starkville and the participation of the Famous Maroon Band. This year, the band comes to us virtually from their new turf practice field. So let's listen as they play. A special thank you to the Director of Bands, Elva K. Lance, for getting us that footage of the Famous Maroon Band. The next band is Starkville Academy. Under the direction of Haley Harper, here is the Starkville Academy Volunteer Band. Thank you, students. Next is the Starkville High School Band under the direction of Sean Sullivan. Let's listen to the Starkville Yellow Jacket Band. Coming up next, we'll find out what some partnership members' favorite parade memories are, and later, Santa Claus makes his annual stop in Starkville. Kids, find out how you can make it on the nice list, and parents, find out what toys are flying out of Santa's workshop this year. Make yourself some hot chocolate. We'll be back in just a moment.
You can do a lot of good by shopping local in Starkville. Out of every dollar spent here, up to 40 cents stays here. That means a lot of good, like creating jobs, building better schools, and improving our quality of life. For every candle you buy, every meal you purchase, every guitar you take home, you're helping to make Starkville a better place. That helps your neighbor, that helps your friends, and that helps you. Help the home team win. Buy local. Shop Starkville.
Advent, Christmas season, is a time of waiting and anticipation and chances as we wait to see our families again and to spend time with our kids, and we're looking forward to things, and we're waiting for the day to come. The night before, our kids can't go to sleep and can't get up early enough because they are waiting for Christmas Day. The people of God were waiting for something too. They were waiting for a Messiah to come, and we are waiting for Messiah to come again now. We are looking forward to the day when Jesus returns, even as we celebrate the time he became one of us before. And so we're anticipating. And if you and your family are in a season where you are longing for something and wanting something and waiting and anticipating, maybe for something you've been waiting for a really long time, you should know that Romans 8:19 through 23 tells us that all of creation is longing for the return of our Messiah too. It's Christmas season. We're all anticipating the big day, but we're also really anticipating the day of Christ's return. On behalf of the staff and team at Starkville First United Methodist Church, Merry Christmas.
Okay, are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Let's go.
Okay, from our Reverend Charlie Harper, Associate Pastor at the First United Methodist Church, rapid fire questions. Number 1, what's your favorite Christmas food?
Turkey.
Chocolate, anything. Actually, chocolate M&M, peanut M&Ms, chocolate peanut M&Ms.
Number 2, favorite Christmas song?
Joy to the World.
White Christmas.
Least favorite Christmas song?
12 Days of Christmas.
Frosty the Snowman.
Favorite Christmas ornament?
Favorite ornament? Childhood ornaments that I was given when I was a little bitty kid that are still on my tree.
It's a little crystal ball that I got from someone one time. It's just something about the way it catches the light.
Best holiday movie?
I'd say Die Hard, but I'd start a debate.
I've had this fight on Twitter. I love Die Hard. People say it's not a Christmas movie. I go, yes, it is.
So, rapid fire question, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
It happens at Christmas. I'll leave it at that one.
Yes, it is.
And she answers that without hesitation. What kind of treat do you leave Santa?
Chocolate chip cookies and milk.
Chocolate chip cookies. Is there something else he should be getting? Because that's all I know he should be getting.
Who is the hardest person to buy presents for?
My wife.
Myself. No. Just in general, just friends. Because I don't have family anymore, so I don't have to worry about listening to my father gripe about it. But it would have been my father back when. He didn't do ties, he didn't do socks, he didn't do anything. He was difficult. So that's a memory of the hardest person I have to buy for.
Would you rather have 3 feet of snow on Christmas or 75 and sunny?
Based on this year, 75 and sunny.
No, 3 feet of snow.
Will your Christmas shopping be done by December 20th?
No, because I always buy something else on Christmas Eve, no matter what.
Absolutely.
If you could replace Santa with any Disney character, who?
Replace Santa with any Disney character? Donald Duck. Since it's rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Why would you replace Santa with Donald Duck?
Wait, if it's rapid fire now, I've got to give it thought. I don't know, the picture of him trying to carry the bag cracks me up.
I am perverse. One of my favorite Disney characters is Maleficent. You know who I'm talking about, right? I just think she's lovely. I mean, in such a dramatic kind of way. So, it's not like the Ice Princess or something.
If you were trapped in a Christmas movie, which one would you pick?
Oh man, I was so good at picking movies a minute ago. It's a Wonderful Life, maybe?
If you were trapped in a Christmas movie, which would you pick?
Gosh, you'd almost have to, Home Alone. Home Alone, yeah, absolutely.
One step further, which character would you be?
Oh, I'd be the kid. I'd be the kid. And I don't even remember his name. I just love that movie and all the stuff he does. I just think that's a hoot.
Memories of the Christmas parade last far after the streets are clear and everyone goes home. From the cold weather to the fire trucks, some of the partnership members shared their favorite memories of the parade.
My memories of the Christmas parade in Starkville go back as far as I can remember. I was born and reared here in Starkville, so I don't ever remember there not being a Christmas parade, and I have missed very few of them. I think my best memories, though, are of the Starkville High School band. I was a flag person in the band, and we always had to line up way down by East Mississippi Lumber. It was always cold, and we always had on shorts. And so I remember it being very cold and doing lots of stomping around to keep our blood flowing until we actually got marching. But there's something about playing Christmas music, going down the main street of your home and seeing family and friends on the sides. It's just a unique experience, and I think it's a small town thing that we have that perhaps big cities don't get to experience.
I think my favorite memories of the parade are getting my kids all bundled up. It's usually really cold, and so we're always rushing from when Dad gets home from work to put everybody's coats on, get a parking spot, and then just seeing them plop down in the street, and just even seeing the band members from the high school, just people that they look up to. It's just something about being outside, being cold, seeing people in your community that the kids love, and I just love watching it through their eyes as they get excited with each truck that honks or firefighter that waves.
Those are some of our memories from the recent years. What's your favorite Christmas parade moment? Tell us below in the comments or on your favorite social media using the hashtag #MyParadeMemory. We can't wait to hear yours.
Good evening. Obviously, I'm not in Starkville tonight, but I've certainly been thinking a lot about you guys. This is, in some ways, a very different Christmas than most others. And the first thing I would like to do is to assure all the children in Starkville and around the world that COVID will have absolutely no effect on my Christmas Eve run. We've got some ways around this. We've we social distance. With elves, it's not but 2 feet instead of 6, so that's no big deal. And we are ready to do a very special run around the world. Starkville, as you know, is one of my favorite places. I love being here for the parade every year, and I know it has to be different this year, but I made it for this Zoom call. You see, I'm in the workshop. We're seeing a lot of new toys this year. There's still some very old favorites that are popular. Electronic games are big, of course, but things that you learn from, sciencey kinds of toys, are really big this year. And Santa enjoys that, but it's hard to keep the elves working because they get so involved in each of those things. They think, oh, wow, look, I didn't know that was how that worked. neat. And so there's lots of different kinds of toys. Bicycles are still big. People have even asked for special masks for Christmas. And I don't think I've ever been asked for a mask before. But it's getting close to Christmas, you know. So if you're on the naughty list, and some of you are, there's still time to be a little better. Mind your parents, love your brothers and sisters, eat good food, not just candy, go to bed at night, and that's particularly important on Christmas Eve, because if you're awake, I'm not going to stop at your house. Help Santa out, go to bed early Christmas Eve, go ahead and go to sleep. And I know it's hard to go to sleep on Christmas Eve, but it really helps me. This year, my schedule is even tighter than usual, so I really need your cooperation on that this particular year. It's about supper time, so I've taken a little break to talk to you guys. I want you to have a very Merry Christmas and not worry about things. I know many things are different this year, but we're okay, you're okay, and we will make it through this and have a very, very Merry Christmas.
Home for the holidays. That's what we've been tonight during this program. We hope that you have enjoyed a little of the flavor of a regular Starkville Christmas parade, but at the same time, we've offered some highlights from the community and maybe even made some new memories. Having all the main ingredients, bands and interviews and important people talking to us about our community, this has been a special program in light of everything that's been going on this year. You know, a program like this can't come together without many, many volunteer hours. I'd like to thank the Starkville Partnership and especially Paige Watson for everything that she has done, and of course the volunteer crew here at WOBV, especially Parker Lee, our director. And we of course always thank the support of the First United Methodist Church. But in closing, as we always do every year, we have to thank the entire community, and we have to be thankful for the blessings that we have, even though they've been a little bit different this year. So on behalf of all of us here at WOBV and at the partnership, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in. Have a very Merry Christmas, and may God bless you all.